Hey, Wayne here, and today we're taking off on the PuckiPuppy Labrador Pro. This is a newer model from last year, and we're going to check it out right now. Oh, I knew it was going to happen eventually. I want to thank PuckiPuppy for sending out this newer version of their Labrador, which is the Labrador Pro. They have nothing to say, no input on this review, other than to answer some questions I may have along the way, if any pop up during the creation of this video. If anybody's interested in seeing the PuckiPuppy from last year, it's a cadence sensor e-bike as opposed to this one being a torque sensor. I'm going to put a link down below so you can check out that review from last year. The Labrador Pro comes in 4 colors, which is orange, gray, plating gray, and the one I'm riding today, lime camouflage. This bike size is good for riders from 5'4" to 6'6". The bike can handle up to 400 pounds. The PuckiPuppy website says the bike weighs 67 pounds, but I came out to 86.5 pounds, and that was including the 10-pound battery. Now, that's still pretty light for a bike this size. It looks like it would be a lot heavier. It feels pretty nimble. It's a great looking bike, and I think the weight is okay on it. When it comes to the battery, it's a 42 volt, 20 amp hour battery, which is pretty standard among bikes. And the battery should get you between 40 to 80 miles, but that's going to depend a lot on things like your type of riding, how much you're relying on the throttle, your weight, terrain, uphill, downhill, all that kind of stuff. So keep all that in mind. The peak power of the motor is 1,350 watts and has 120 Newton meters of torque. That's a lot of power to get you going and get you up most hills. So if you're using throttle only, and let's say I'm in mode 5, it's going to reach a top speed of 20 miles per hour, and then you're going to kind of feel it kick off, where it's just going to hold it at that speed. Now if I release the thumb throttle and continue pedaling, it will go faster with pedal assist. In fact, it's supposed to get you up to 28 miles per hour, but I've gotten up to 31. So right now I'm going 27 miles per hour, 28, 29, 31. So I'm coming up to a stop sign, but it got me up to 31. For suspension, the PuckiPuppy Pro has front and rear suspension with 150 millimeters of travel. It works just fine. So as opposed to last year's Labrador, which was a cadence sensor bike, the new Labrador Pro is a torque sensor e-bike. Now I like that a lot better for myself, but if you have like maybe some hip problems or knee problems, don't like to pedal a lot, the cadence sensor will be good for you. If you want a little bit more of a workout with pedal assist, the torque sensor is the way to go. With the torque sensor, you got to put a little bit more into your pedaling to get up to the max speed, where with the cadence you could just throttle and it'll get you up there no matter what, whether you're pedaling or throttling. So I like the torque sensor because I like to put a little bit more work into my ride. The Labrador Pro does have the fat tires on it, 26 by 4 inch fat tires. That's good for pretty much all the different terrains. It's not like specialized for a single one, but it's good for all. As for the display, it's pretty much the same through all their e-bikes. PuckiPuppy uses the same display, and why not? It's a good one. It's good to see during day or night. Has a lot of information on it. I'm going to put a clip up from last year's Labrador where I explain how to use the display and unlock some of the features so that you can change settings. Let's turn on the display by pressing and holding the power button down. The display will come on. Once you see the word hello, you can let go. Okay, once it's on, you can see the pedal assist, the miles per hour, your trip, And this little arrow button right here, as I change power assist modes, I'm going to use the up arrow over here on the controller. You're going to see that change over there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's a great looking display. I'm going to bring it back down to 0 since I'm just standing here with the bike. And down below these two up and down buttons, there is a light button. You're going to see a light icon turn on right here when I turn this on. Light's on now. So now if I press it again, it'll turn off. And underneath that, right here where my finger is, there is a button for a horn. Now, let's say you want to get in and change some of these settings. Press and hold the up and down buttons together. And now you're in the function settings. The first one is brightness. To get in there, you just press the power key or tap it. And now you got level 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to use the up arrow to go back down to 1, back up to 3 with the down arrow. I'm going to leave it on 3 because I like it nice and bright. Now to get out of this menu, you're going to tap the power button. And now you can arrow down to unit, press the power button, and you can change it again with the up and down buttons from km to mile. I'm going to leave mine on mile. Put yours wherever you like. And then I'm going to press or tap the power button again to get out of this menu. Scroll down to startup mode. Press or tap the power button. And I'm going to leave it in free mode because I don't believe I need to be in safe mode. There's nothing wrong. I'm just going to leave it there and tap the power button. Now if I go down one more, I'm on the reset trip. Tap the power button. And I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to get out because I want to leave the trip where it's at. Now to get out of this menu completely, you can either press and hold the power button to get out of it, or you can just tap the light button and you're back where you started. And of course, to shut it down, just press and hold the power button and it will turn off. Quick tip, a lot of e-bikes come with controllers like this one, and the best thing to do is when you get your bike, you'll find that it's loose. Leave it loose. You can tighten it up a little bit, but don't over tighten so that you can't move it. There's a board inside that can flex, and if it does, you could start causing yourself some problems. So if you find you're having problems, try loosening it a little bit. Make sure that this can move. It doesn't move like super easy, but it does move. So try that and you should be good. Again, with all the PuckiPuppy bikes that I know of so far, they come with Logan hydraulic brakes, front and rear. They work just fine. I'm going 23 miles an hour right now. Gonna press them. I didn't squeeze too hard, but you can see that it does a pretty good job of stopping. It has a Shimano 8-speed derailleur system, and for throttling, we've got a thumb throttle over here on the left. I don't always mention the saddle, but the saddle on this bike is pretty comfortable. It has a lot of cushion on it, so it's probably going to be good for long rides. I'm going to go over some quick differences between last year's model and this one. This Pro has 4 different colors as opposed to last year's only having 3. So for me, one of the biggest differences between last year's model and this model, the standard Labrador had a 960 watt motor, where the Labrador Pro has a peak motor power of 1,350, which I believe is equivalent to a 1,050 watt motor. Now, I don't remember what the torque, Newton meters of torque was on the regular Labrador, but I'm sure this one is much higher. At 120 Newton meters, that's actually quite a bit. It's a lot for pretty much any e-bike. So you're going to get a lot of power. It's going to get you up to speed really quick and get you up those hills with no problem. Also, last year's model was a 7-speed. This is an 8-speed bike. So a little bit more. It's going to help you with that ghost pedaling. You're not going to feel it as much with the 8th speed. Now, I think I've mentioned it already, but last year's model was a cadence sensor e-bike, and this one is a torque sensor e-bike. Again, personal preference, good or both have their place. I personally like the torque sensor because it makes me feel like I'm riding a regular bike with some pedal assist without overdoing it. So I actually did like last year's model, even though it was a Cadence, it kind of felt like a torque sensor bike. But this one has a lot more power, and it definitely is a torque sensor bike. I like this one a lot more. It just feels better. The suspension is great. Other than that, you'll be happy with either one, the Labrador or the Labrador Pro. Of course, you're going to get, I think, more bang for your buck with this one, the newer one. If you want to get more power than last year's Labrador, go for the Labrador Pro. This is going to be a great bike for anybody that really likes a lot of power, does some thrill seeking, likes to do a little off-roading. This is the bike for you. Although you can ride it anywhere, you can commute with it, just have fun, get some exercise with it, go off-roading. Pretty much anything you want to do, you can do on this bike. If this looks like the bike for you, I've got some affiliate links down below in the description and the comment area. Go ahead and click on one of those links to get yourself a bike. It doesn't cost you anything extra to use. Sometimes my links have discount codes either attached to the link itself, or there's a coupon code that I'll apply next to it. So go grab yourself one, get out there and ride, and I'll see you on the next one. Included with the PuckiPuppy bike, you get a lot of extras like this PuckiPuppy bike cover. You get a phone holder, a bottle mount so you can carry a water bottle with you, tools to install everything. You get these mirrors, and these mirrors are really neat because unlike some of the cheap mirrors, this is, I'm not sure if that's glass or not, but the mirrors are really good. So they look like the reflection is a real mirror type reflection and not that weird looking stuff. You get a bike lock and a pump. You get a whole lot of extra screws and things like that, and even extra brake pad, and your instruction manual, tools. They give you a wrench set and wire ties and some cable management. So you get a whole lot when you buy a PuckiPuppy bike. Okay, we're going to start with the handlebar. Okay, since we are working on the handlebar, might as well go ahead and put the display on. I want to make a quick note though that these screws, do not over tighten them when you put it back onto the handlebar. They will break. This is just plastic. The screws won't break, but the plastic will break. And if you break the plastic mount, you have to replace the whole display as it's one whole unit. You can't just replace this part here. So let's go ahead and install it, but be very careful when you're tightening it. Just make it nice and snug so that if you move it with your hand, that's okay. You need a little pressure to move it, but it shouldn't move when you're riding. So just tighten it up enough, nice and snug, and you should be okay. Yeah, that should be good enough. Okay, so just before installing that front tire, I think the best thing to do now would be to install your kickstand. Go ahead and get that started. That way, once you get that front tire mounted to the bike, you'll have a way to have it stand up and help you tighten it up and get it all squared away. Okay, to prepare to install your front tire and wheel, just make sure that you loosen this bolt here, 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 and here. And you can lift this up a little bit and remove it. Now, some bikes, The brakes have a spacer in between the pads here. If yours has one, just pull it out. It should be just a little plastic piece. If not, you're ready to install the front tire. One extra thing that I like to do when I'm about to install the front tire is I like to remove these three pieces here: the nut, this washer, it's just a regular washer, and then this guide washer or hook washer, safety washer, whatever you like to call it. It has a kind of a hook on it, and that's going to go into the front fork to keep it all in place. I've already done it on the other side, so now I'm going to work on getting this tire installed right here. This brake disc, the rotor is going to fit right in between here. So be very careful when you're doing it. This is probably going to be easier if you have a friend to help you lift the bike up, lift it up, and then slide it on. I'm working alone, so I'm going to just try to do this by myself by grabbing either the front fork or the handlebars and raising it up and sliding the tire in. Okay, now we're going to put the washer and the nut back on in reverse. This washer with the hook on is going to go right into that hole there. Then your regular washer and the nut. Then you're going to use your 15 millimeter wrench to tighten that down. Do the same thing on the other side, and the front tire will be installed. Next, we'll go to the fender and the front light. Okay, so I'm going to do this a little different with the front fender and light. Usually there's a way to mount from the back here, but I don't really see how, since it only came with this one screw up front. I'm going to remove that. And now, because things are going to be a little different here, I'm going to slide the fender from the front. Usually it goes in from the back. I'm going to raise these arms up. They're going to be used to mount it a little bit more later. Okay, for the next step, I'm going to put the light behind that fender piece, and then I'm going to slide the screw through both. So let's go ahead and slide it through the fender, light, and then we'll start it by hand, and then we'll tighten it down. Okay, get that going. Just before you get it tight, go ahead and slide everything into place. Get this light out of the way. You can bend it forward or up. And start tightening this down a bit. Make sure your light is straight. And you can always go back and adjust later. So next we're going to get these arms tight. On each side of the fork, you're going to remove these screws that are mounted right here. And you're going to grab that arm that you passed through earlier. Put it right there in front. Take your screw, place it back in, and start tightening it down. And then do the same on the other side. And the front fender and light is, well, it's just about done. One more thing to go. Got to plug the light in next. Once you have everything installed, if you find that there's not much space down here, you can loosen these arms a little bit on each side. And then you can pull the arms out a bit to raise it up. Okay, once you have all of that tightened up, the last thing to do is to line up these yellow connectors. There's pins in them. Make sure you put it in right. There's also arrows on the outside plastic here, or rubber. So just line that up and squeeze it together. Now everything is done for the front fender, light, and fenders, the tire, fender, and light. There are 3 connection points for the rear fender: here, here, and on the other side here. Before installing the rear rack, make sure to remove this wire tie. You just need to remove the one. You can leave the one that's behind this screw here. This is going to be part of your brake light for the rear. To install the rear rack, you're going to remove these 4 bolts. There's 2 on each side. Align the rack in place, put the screws back through, and tighten it down. Now that the rear rack is installed, you can go ahead and connect the cables. There's a little cover on that one. Match up these blue cables with the pins, just like before. Get it just right. Push them together. And there are a couple of arrows on there so that you can see where they go. Now, you're going to want to wire tie this up, kind of clean up the mess here. So I'm going to put a wire tie through. I'm going to start up here, put a wire tie through. There's these little holes, these little pieces where you can put your wire ties through to hold everything down. That way they won't move around. And that's what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so when you're installing the pedals, make sure that you put the right on the right side, the left on the left side. The pedals are marked as well as these parts here. I am on the left side of the bike right now, so you'll want to be careful to put the left side on counterclockwise, and then the right side pedal will go on clockwise. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one on. I'll put the other one on, and that should be it for the bike. Okay, now that your PuckiPuppy Labrador Pro is fully assembled, make sure to go over a few things. Check your tire pressure, battery is fully charged, everything is lined up and tightened up. Check out my links down below. They are free to use and sometimes come with discounts. Grab yourself one, get out there and ride, and I'll see you on the next one.